gentlemen, today you find me slightly dressed down because I'm on vacation. I'm on my Scottish annual holiday in Scotland, and I've come to visit this beautiful palace behind me, which is Scone Palace. And Scotland doesn't have many palaces, but this is quite a famous palace because it's also the home of the Stone of Destiny, or the Stone of Scone, which is where the kings, I want to say the kings and queens, but obviously kings of Scotland were crowned, going back centuries, many centuries. And the stone to this very day is still used. I say to this very day, it was used in the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, and it will be used in the coronation of the future King Charles III, possibly, or it could be King George VII. So anyway, we can't go in there because it's closed, but I'm going to give you a little tour around the grounds, and we're going to go and see the replica of the Stone of Destiny. I wanted to say I'd love to take you inside, but even the Royal Butler cannot get in there when it's closed. I'm good at many things, but I'm not good at getting entry when somewhere's closed. I say Stone of Destiny because in Scotland we also know it as the Stone of Destiny thanks to a book and a movie, but of course traditionally it was known as the Stone of Scone, or the Coronation Stone. Just in front of the palace you have the private chapel, but this is quite an important location because up on this hill is the site of where Scottish monarchs were crowned on the Stone of Scone, or the Coronation Stone, and it was actually kept a few hundred feet from here in Scone Abbey, or Scone Priory, which was built in the 12th century but sadly no longer survives. But here we've got the lovely private chapel. Now, if you do come and visit Scone Palace, can I highly recommend that you go around these beautiful gardens and grounds which is situated around the palace, including this arboretum. It's absolutely stunning. Now obviously the Royal Dachshunds loved wandering around here, and Shumba decided this was the perfect location for him to be crowned King of all Scots and Dachshunds, weirdly enough. The palace you see today has changed slightly. In the 19th century it was very much enhanced, and as I mentioned, the building you see today is thanks to those enhancements. But it is quite spectacular, and it certainly is a palace. The plaque here has slightly faded, but it says Stone of Scone, a replica of the stone upon which the kings of Scots were crowned on Moot Hill until 1296 when Edward I took the stone to Westminster Abbey. They say took, but from what I understand as a Scotsman, it was stolen. As I've mentioned, many monarchs were crowned on this site, including most famously King Robert the Bruce of Scots, and lastly in 1651 King Charles II when he accepted the Scottish throne. And now it's time for the coronation of King Shumba I. Dread to imagine what kind of king he will be. Anyway, we better go on with this. I remember as a child visiting Scone Palace and seeing the Coronation stone, and my father used to always say that it was the replica, but then again, how do we actually know it is the replica? Which would be a problem because it would then mean that Shumba is King of Scots. Interesting. I hope you've enjoyed today's At Home with the Royal Butler in Scotland. Slightly different, but I felt you would enjoy having this little visit round the iconic and beautiful Scone Palace. I will see you on Friday for the next In Conversation with the Royal Butler, and next Wednesday for another At Home with the Royal Butler. Until then, stay safe.